This is Autoline Daily, reporting on the global automotive industry. General Motors workers in Canada are now feeling the effects of the UAW strike. The company is facing a part shortage because of the strike, and as a result, is temporarily laying off 1,200 workers at its plant in Oshawa, Ontario. Production of the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra are being halted. The UAW and GM are still holding talks, but so far, no progress has been made. Spanish automaker SEAT is gearing up to test biofuel created from municipal waste in its vehicles. It's part of the Life Landfill Biofuel project, which will run for 4 years and has a budget of 4.6 million euros, of which the European Commission will fund 55%. By 2035, the amount of municipal waste that can be dumped into landfills in Europe will be limited to 10%. So this new project is one way to put that excess waste to good use. Not only will it help reduce emissions, but converting waste to biofuel represents a big business opportunity since there are close to 500,000 landfills in Europe. And speaking of improving emissions in Europe, Germany is planning to impose a cap-and-trade system on carbon emissions from the heating and transport sectors. Bloomberg reports that oil companies will be required to buy allowances that cost between 30 and 50 euros for each ton of carbon dioxide their fuels emit, and that cost will be passed on to drivers. The goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and the hope is consumers will adopt more fuel-efficient cars or even electric vehicles. Germany is on track to miss emission targets set under the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change, and the country is woefully short of its goal of having 6 million electric cars on its roads by 2030. Currently, there are around 480,000 electrified vehicles in Germany.
Opening the door is the first interaction people have with their car. Make it a positive experience. With XL Entry, we'll help you make it smoother, quieter, and safer. We are KeyCurt, the global technology leader in automotive locking systems, with operations in Metro Detroit. Open the door to new access systems. Visit us on newentry.com. KeyCurt, technology that leads.
Honda is going to amp up its electrification efforts. It wants hybrids to account for 50% of its U.S. sales by 2030, and for BEVs to account for 15%. Yesterday, it unveiled the hybrid version of the CR-V, which will be made in Indiana. Unfortunately, it did not announce fuel economy numbers or prices. But the two-motor hybrid will produce 212 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. That's 22 more horses and 53 more pound-feet than the gasoline-only version. And while it did not provide figures, Honda says it will offer more EV range than other hybrids. When most hybrids launch from a stop, the engine usually kicks in around 5 miles an hour or so. But Honda's head of automotive operations, Art St. Cyr, hints that with the CR-V hybrid, the engine may not kick in until around 20 or 30 miles an hour. Tesla has been praised for how solid the structures of its vehicles are, and now it can put another feather in its safety cap. The IIHS tested the Model 3, and it earned the highest Top Safety Pick Plus from the Institute. The electric sedan earned good ratings across the board for crashworthiness, a superior rating for its standard front crash prevention system, and a good rating for its headlights. It joins the Audi e-tron and Hyundai Nexo as another alternatively powered vehicle to earn the award based on its standard equipment. You know, pickup buyers love to customize their trucks, and now Ford is offering a suspension lift kit for the Ranger and F-150. It includes new Fox shocks with coilover springs in the front and new front upper spring mounts. The kit lifts the front of the trucks by about 2 inches and levels them from front to rear. Ford calls it an off-road leveling kit that improves capabilities with better approach and breakover angles, but we bet there will be plenty of Ranger and F-150 owners that are willing to shell out the $1,500 the kit costs before installation to give their trucks a more rugged look.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion, and by Keycurt, technology that leads.
Earlier this week, we shared our impressions of the gasoline-powered versions of the new Ford Escape, which you can see in Tuesday's show. But now we can finally tell you about the hybrid. First, some details about the powertrain. It features a 2.5-liter engine and an electronic CVT combined with a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery, which is 1/3 the size of the battery in the old Escape hybrid. It felt a bit more sluggish than the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder gas engine, even though it has more power. But it does have enough oomph to pass slower vehicles out on the road. Ford hasn't revealed fuel economy numbers, but we were averaging in the mid-40s according to its display, and that was with us not trying to eke out the best number. Front-wheel drive models have an EPA estimated range of more than 550 miles. The Escape Hybrid has a base price of $28,255 and is available now. There's a plug-in hybrid version too, but that won't be available until next spring. Are robots really going to take over all manufacturing jobs? That will be one of the topics on today's Autoline After Hours when Mike Chico, the CEO of Fanuc America, comes on the show. Drew Winter from Ward's and Mike Austin from Hemmings Motor News will also join us. So be sure to tune in this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.